Good morning, everyone. I hope everyone's having a good day so far. I am going to start, as always, just start with some prayer. Jesus, thank you so much for this day. I thank you so much for the things that you bless us with, the things that go unnoticed before we're in you, the things that go unnoticed even when we are in you. Your goodness is indescribable, and it's the only thing that can truly unite people in this world, especially in the kind of conditions that we're in right now. And Jesus, I pray by your Spirit that it works like never before to draw men to you, to draw all nations to you. I thank you for the salvation that you offer, for the mercy that you offer, the mercy that none of us deserve, but everyone is called to. I thank you for your perfectness, and that you can find your glory and beauty in even the most horrible acts. And I say that because I just know firsthand. I just pray that through my words, your voice is heard. I thank you in your beautiful and wonderful name. Amen. Well, it's been a little while since I posted any video, but I've made a few, but I keep finding myself every time I keep going off onto these tangents and kind of jumping right into exactly what I want to fight against. So at least I can help make clear in the very beginning that I don't believe that I am above or out of the reach of any of these things that I'm talking about and trying to combat. I'm just as susceptible and guilty of falling right into the same thing. And I mean, that's just been revealed when you tape yourself and you see the things that you talk about and the things that you get passionate about. And it's easy to get passionate when we're talking about these very serious matters and these serious subjects, and we're talking about our freedoms, and we're talking about right and wrong and the nature of it. And so when we look around and we see, well, at least let me just speak for myself at this point, when I see injustice or perceive these injustices all around me, and there's like nobody is having to be held accountable. There's no accountability in this world whatsoever. The top leadership just does what they want with no explanations, with no rationale behind it, with no science behind it. It's just what they say goes. They have chose this, I almost call him a prophet, Fauci, that declares what's what, what's the science is, whenever there's silence in so many things that have to do directly with the crisis we're fighting. They're not working to build, they're working to control, and it is blatantly obvious. I mean, I understand that we're divided into teams, that there's the Democrats and Republicans, there's the whites and the blacks, and there's the straights, and then there's the homosexuals, now they're the string of alphabet letters that represent the whatever you want to be community. You know what I mean? It's ridiculous, and I say that in a way that, it's just looking at it in truth. I'm not trying to demean anybody. I love people. Face to face, I will. You have to ask other people what they think of me and how I do. But I don't hate that way. And I don't think that that's the main problem with the system. The system, and it's out of the Marxist playbook. This stuff has been going on for decades, and that's the truth that no one wants to see or believe. And I say no one, that's not true at all either. A lot of people see it. A lot of people believe it because it's the truth. But they started indoctrinating us starting in the 60s with all that stuff to undermine the values that we know are right and wrong. And now it's been looked and turned into this, you're an old fogey if you do that old stuff, if you believe in marriage and only having sex after marriage, if you believe, that divorce is a bad thing, or especially if you believe in God and all that Jesus craziness and you hold these values high, modern media and everything has turned that image into a villainous image. And I mean, that's nothing new. That's not new. The emperors in the very first century after his crucifixion and resurrection, they were trying to do the same thing. They were all trying to undermine Christ. This has always been the case, but they just can't, because it's the truth. And when we turn from the truth, it results in this kind of madness, this kind of chaos, the kind of chaos that we see all around them. My King tells me to judge these people. We judge with righteous judgment, and we judge them by their fruits. So when I see the media the whole time calling Trump nothing but a racist, sexist, bigoted, xenophobic madman with his finger on the button, insane, crazy, but around him there's order, there's growth, there's progress. All these so-called progressives, man, they want nothing but regression. In truth, when you look at it, that's all they want. They want to go back to segregation. They want to go back to teaching our kids to separate this side into the white, this side into the black, and everybody learn that these are the oppressors and these are the oppressed. I mean, are you kidding me? This is so backwards. I cannot believe that it's even a serious thing that we're talking about. But when you bring it up and you want to talk about it specifically, all of a sudden it's the jello. Blah, that's not really what happens. They just deny it. And we never address anything because they don't ever answer questions. They never answer questions, and they never lay out a plan. Watch this. There's never any kind of plan in place. And there's never any accountability. Nobody's responsible for anything that happens. The disaster on the border, who's responsible for that? This Afghan disaster, who's responsible for that? Nobody's taking accountability. Nobody's stepping up. Nobody's stepping down when they should after this horrible leadership. They're all just like, oh, no, he did. No, I just do it. It's such a farce. And they're doing it right in front of our face. And we just have to stand here and take it. I'm tired of it. I'm going very tired of this leadership that does not represent me. It does not represent me. And to be honest, I have every reason to believe that it's illegitimate. And if you excluded all facts, all voting machines, all videotapes, affidavits, all that stuff, if you ignore everything that's happened and you solely go and get a behavior expert and you look at their behavior, it is textbook guilty. Trying to rush everything and not look at anything and and every time anything comes up, it's just like, no, that didn't do it, no. There's never any evidence put forth. There's all these crazy numbers and all this unexplained stuff, facts, statistics, and evidence put in front of them. But if you go, please show me. If anybody knows this, link it in the comment section. Please let me see it, because all I've ever heard is it's been debunked. All that's been debunked. Experts have debunked that, but they never show how. They never show the paperwork. They never show the reason why this happened. All they do is just say it's been debunked, and that's it. And we're just supposed to buy it. Now we're supposed to call him Mr. President and go along with this. No, man, no. I will not shut up, and I will not repress my speech because I'm upset. I just spent 4 years of hearing nothing but screaming and crying that Trump was illegitimate. And now I'm not allowed to say Biden's illegitimate? Are you kidding me? See? Oh my goodness, see? This is why I keep not even posting the videos, because I keep getting so emotional, and it sounds like I'm just trying to attack one side when I am going against the ideology of this leadership and these leaders. I am against them 1,000%. I can't lie. But the Democratic people who name themselves Democrats, who actually wants the best for this country, I want to talk to them. I want to know them. I want to understand what they see. when they look at this, because to me it's just a mess. And I know there's a lot of them that have to agree, that do agree, but they have to keep it silent, because if they don't, then they're shunned and they're excommunicated. They don't even realize that they're in the biggest cult religion you could ever even think of. Textbook all the way. The Democratic media blitz frenzy of lies is ridiculous. And I'm not excluding the other side from this. The whole system, Democrats, Republicans, everything, they're dirty. I don't trust any of them. And when by any of them, I mean as a whole. There's people that I would trust. There's people on both sides that I would sit down with and at least talk to. I can't say I necessarily trust them anymore, because you just don't know them. You have no clue. But you can judge them by the fruit around them. And what do they say? What comes out of their mouth? Do I hear Jesus' voice in what they say, in their words? Are they lining up with my values, what I stand on, what I claim to believe? You know, that matters to me. This whole separation of church and state thing, like we're just supposed to keep our Christianity locked in a little box, never to be seen by anyone, just my own personal thing. No, that's not even how it works. Y'all have a misunderstanding of what Christianity is. And I would love to sit and explain it to you. Anyone who is curious or even wants to just know my point of view. I mean, you don't have to convert to listen to somebody's point of view. We don't have to agree to like each other. You know what I'm saying? The lines that have been drawn by them, have been drawn by the media. When they get on TV and they start talking about this is a pandemic of the unvaccinated. I mean, you can't sit down and think that out logically and come to any conclusion, but these people are stupid. How that doesn't make sense. If I am vaccinated in the traditional definition of the word, if I get vaccinated and I'm protected, and you come into the room unvaccinated while I'm protected, I mean, that's the point, right? So you're protected and I'm not. I decided not to be protected. Or I've already had it. And to be honest, scientifically, my immunity to it's much better than yours. Much better than yours. And the amount of cases, breakthrough cases as they call them, they'll shut all that down. They don't want anyone to hear the truth. That's the danger. This is, as I keep saying in every video, and I don't mean it lightly. I'm not saying it like the left says it. Like Trump's a Hitler and Trump's a Nazi. The Democrat Party has been play by play since Trump was elected. Play by play have been pulling off the Nazi playbook, like point by point by point. And I mean, I don't want to get too conspiratorial, but I mean, there's a lot of evidence that there was a lot of troublemakers from the left in all the January 6th stuff. And there was wrong done. We shouldn't have handled it that way. But you know what I'm saying? What they blew it up to, all it was an excuse to make the right the enemy. Because they're getting ready. They're setting it up now to start kicking in our doors. You better believe it, because they know the voters see their bull. So they've got to act fast. They've got to act before the 2022 midterms. They've got to act before that. So I don't know what. I mean, I'm sitting here like armchair commentator trying to just proclaim the truth around me to the best of my ability and can be corrected. By no means am I, a source of truth of anything but what the Father grants me to be anyway. But I believe these conversations need to be had, because I believe we're very close to some very, very bad stuff. There's now open socialists, the Democrat Socialist Party. They don't even hide it anymore. And they call Trump a Nazi. Do you know what the Nazi Party was? The National Socialist Party. They don't understand it's about ideologies, and we don't have The Republicans don't have the Nazi ideology. We don't believe the state should run everyone and everything and save everyone and clothe everyone and feed everyone and give everyone their job and their place in this world. That the government is not God. God has given us rights. This is what our Constitution protects. The government is only supposed to protect our God-given rights. And this man in the office right now tells us how frustrated he is as he takes away those rights. No man is taking away my God-given rights. He can't. He has no power to do that. But that's what they think they're doing, because they think that they're God. Not literally, but they think that they have control over everything, that they can fix it. The climate is their biggest enemy right now, besides us. We can make better, we can do better by every means, but to even have the arrogance to think that you can change the weather is ridiculous. And it's so crazy to use that as a fear tactic in political games. They use everything in political games. And it needs to be exposed. And this video is already getting pretty long, so I don't want to post, super long videos. I'm sure I'm not that interesting. But I've got to get some editing skills and stuff like that, because I go off on tangents a lot, I see, and even all these little and all these noises that I make in the middle could probably be toned down a bit. But again, I'm learning. Thank you for anyone watching. Praise Jesus' name, and I pray that His Spirit empowers us all today to go out and proclaim His name and glory to this world, because this is what's going to unite us. People don't understand that this is not a black and white thing. This is not a Republican-Democrat thing. This is a battle of ideologies. It's a battle of spirit. It's a battle of the minds, and it needs to be addressed, because honestly, when you sit down and talk, we're not that far apart. I don't want to believe all my Democrat neighbors want to destroy the world. They don't. I believe they have good intention. But we need to think about these things, look at history, and rationally think these things out and not just work off emotion. But anyway, that's it for another talk. Thank all y'all, and I hope you all have a blessed day. Peace.